I'll go ahead and talk about the worst part, the attack itself, and go over our other questions later. I remember being in Florida at my father's house. I was alone. He'd gone away for the day. There was some contractor. I don't know if he was pest control or something, or painter. He was supposed to come to the house, say 2 p.m., for example. And I was alone with the creature. The creature was a 150-pound half Rottweiler, half Timberwolf. And it had to be fed by chaining it up to a tree with a logging chain. And my father had to use a broom handle to scoot its food bowl away from it, put the dry food in the food bowl, and then use that broom handle to scooch that food bowl back under the creature's nose so it could eat without, mauling its owner. A friend of mine recently told me that, 150 pounds, half Timberwolf, half Rottweiler, it's got about the same level of strength and killing ability as a 750-pound grown man. But anyway, that is the thing that my father chose to have on his property and left me with, thinking, it's fine. So, no, it wasn't. I had the thing on a leash. I was sitting on a little porch swing. It was there with me. It propped its head on my knee, and I thought, oh, isn't that sweet? What a good doggy. And I was scratching its head, between its ears, thinking, well, this is how a nice doggy's supposed to behave. I did not realize at the time that what it was doing was what is called resource guarding. Yeah, I wasn't in control. It was. Then I heard the contractor pull up through the driveway. Thought, okay, good. This guy's supposed to come at 2 p.m. So I got up. I calmly, slowly stood up and said, come here, boy. Flicked the leash to take it to its pen, where it would go, supposedly. And it growled. And I thought, oh dear. And I said, come on, boy. And I walked it towards the pen. And it's hard for me to recall exactly what happened, except I heard the first growl, and it didn't become particularly aggressive. So I thought maybe I was okay. The next thing I remember, and I'm sorry I don't remember every single thing completely, but I do remember this. To my right side was the creature, Grendel, 150 pounds, half Rottweiler, half Timberwolf. To my left was the contractor's truck, and he wasn't getting out of that truck, by the way. It's as if everything went in slow motion. The creature started growling again, and this time, it wasn't a little growl. It really growled, and I thought, oh shit. Yeah, oh shit was right. Then, chomp. The first chomp. It was like I realized it was going to happen. After the second growl, and it just chomped down on my right arm. I knew this thing could gut me if it wanted to, and that is the truth. I knew that it could maim me and take my face off if it wanted to. That is the truth. So I held still. I didn't say a word. I didn't make a sound. I was thinking, okay. Don't move. Be still. Be calm. Think of what you can do. Don't make any sudden movements. You've got to safely get away. The thing let go for a second, and I saw bits of my subcutaneous fat, flesh, and a little bit of blood go down its throat. And I saw it swallow bits of my subcutaneous fat and flesh and blood. and chomp a second time before I could gracefully move my arm out of its jaws. Boom, it just bit down again. So my arm was in its jaws again. And it's like I could feel it all the way to the bone, kind of. I thought, okay, just be calm. Don't try to wrest yourself away from it. I didn't say a word. I didn't speak. I didn't yell. I didn't move. I just stayed there, hoping that it would let go long enough so that I could slowly, gently, quietly get away. And then it did was this a third chomp by now? Yeah. Chomp again. It opened its jaws for a second. I saw more of, yes, my blood, a little more subcutaneous fat going down its throat. From the first time I saw that, I was, oh, wow. So parts of me, it's swallowing parts of me. I'm being eaten alive. Wow. I'm not even dead yet. So this is what it's like to be eaten alive. That was the experience. I don't wish that on anyone. But that's what it's like to be eaten by one of these creatures while you're still alive. Yeah. Go to dogsbite.org. Read their website in its entirety. To anyone who doesn't believe me, look at all these people who have been mauled, who've lived to tell the tale. Any of these bully breeds, the Rottweilers, the pit bulls, any aspect of bully breeds. And this was a half Rottweiler, half Timberwolf. And, yeah, and that's what happens. If you live through this, you will see, feel, and experience your own flesh and blood going down the throat of a living animal that is attacking you, and it's not stopping. I am thankful I made it through, that I still have an arm, that I still have fingers, that I still have a face, that I did not get gutted and killed. Anyway, so again, as time seemed to just freeze, and all I could think was, if I just don't move, just wait. If it lets go long enough, can I escape slowly and walk away? Chomp again. And then, is this, I don't know, the third or fourth chomp? Finally, because I guess I didn't react, so to speak. It seems like it finally got finished playing with me. I could feel absolutely nothing in my arm. And it finally let go. And I guess it had had enough taste of my flesh and blood. And I didn't look at it. And I slowly turned and slowly walked away towards the truck of the contractor. He had not bothered to try to honk his horn or distract the half Timberwolf, half Rottweiler creature in any way. He didn't even open the door or anything. So I walked up to the passenger door. And thank goodness it was open. He allowed me in his truck. And he drove me to the hospital, to the emergency room. And they patched me up and gave me some antibiotics. And my arm was in a sling for a couple of weeks. They took a few little chunks out of my right arm. Thank God I lived through it and I can use my arm. And I have a face and I didn't get gutted. Oh, and after I got out of the hospital, my father informed me that the creature had bitten at least 3 other people. I didn't know that. He left me alone with it, but it had bitten at least 3 of his friends. And he laughed and thought it was funny that, oh, thank goodness we don't have to report it, honey, to the authorities because it's a family bite. Mr. Attorney there. Whatever the laws were in those days in Florida, because it was a family bite, it didn't have to be reported. Well, I think a lot of people don't want to talk about these things after they've gotten through them because you realize you're so lucky to be alive. And if you have a face left or arm and fingers and body parts are still intact and you recover, it's like you're encouraged to forget about it, or you just want to pretend, okay, didn't happen, whoopee. Got struck by lightning, no big deal, I made it through. Yeah, whoopee. When I read dogsbite.org and realized this is not uncommon, this has happened to far too many people. It wasn't just a lightning strike, no. And frankly, I did nothing wrong. I realize that now. My father should never have had that creature, half timber wolf, half Rottweiler. I encourage anyone within the sound of my voice and the sound of your voice to go to dogsbite.org. Read and learn and pay attention. This is very important. I know I am so lucky to be alive. And I thank God I can still function, and I'm not in the situation as poor Jacqueline Durant and others. And I thank you, Chef, and Ashley, and Mr. IHD, and Kanan, and everyone who's telling people about this, who doesn't want anyone getting attacked or mauled or killed. I got the email from dogsbite.org a few days ago. I'm on their email list. And sometimes I can't bear to read it because I'll cry when I read it. I'm having coffee. And I'm not trying to sound melodramatic or over-exaggerate. But there are more stories about the dogs I was exposed to and why I'm lucky I'm alive and have a face and have fingers and didn't get killed. And I have to agree with Mr. IHD, Mr. I Hate Dogs, and good on him. He does roil with a righteous rage. Domesticated canids are not human. They do not have the same emotions as humans. They don't have a neocortex like humans. I believe Mr. IHD addressed this on one of his podcasts. The child endangerment that many are exposed to, unfortunately. I was exposed to it as well. Chef, you know, we've talked about this. I'll be glad to address this in another audio recording. I'll leave you with that. And I thank you and everyone in the dog-averse community trying to make people aware of the dangers of these domesticated canids. I appreciate it. And I just wanted to stay up to date with you, Chef, and send you something. And I wish you and everyone in our community all the best. Much love.